Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading will be a general reading for all of the astrological signs for the month of April 2018. I'll be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread for the reading, and we'll pull 3 oracle cards, right, to just give some added messages and guidance to go along with the spread, the tarot spread. For the main spread, I will be using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. If I need to pull clarifiers, I'll use the pocket edition of the Klimt Tarot. And then the 3 oracle card decks. I have the Ask Your Guides deck by Sonia Choquette, the Sacred Traveler by Denise Lynn, and Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. Okay. Just a quick reminder, I will be putting out on the 31st of this month, we have our second full moon of the month, which is the blue moon, right? So I'll be putting out a special full moon spread for that, as well as the second tarot reading giveaway for the month of March. So be looking out for those 2 special videos. They'll be coming out within the next couple of days, okay? And again, just remember that these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. If you would like to have a more personalized reading focusing on you, what's going on specifically in your life right now, you'd need to get a private reading from me. If you're interested, you could take a look at my site, changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you'll find pricing as well as the types of videos that I offer. Or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. I would also encourage you to watch not just your sun sign reading, but also your moon and your rising sign videos. Okay, that way you can, if one of the videos, maybe the messages won't resonate as well this month, the others might, or by using all 3 together, you'll have a more complete, overview of what will be coming up for you during the month. So I think that's it for now as far as messages go, right? So I will see each of the signs. I'll see you all in 1 second for your reading. Bye for now. Hi Virgo, hope you're doing well. I'm here to get into your April 2018 reading. As you can see, I have already shuffled off camera and have laid out your spread, so it's all ready for us to get into. I do apologize for being late with the April general readings. The beginning of the month was just a little more hectic than normal, so I do apologize for that. Hopefully, I will be back on track by this weekend and, be able to get the mid-monthlies out on time. So, one other thing, I did change out the oracle card decks. I think in the introduction, I said I would be using different ones. I've decided to go with, after getting into some of the readings, the Ask Your Guides and the Power of Love Oracle Card Deck by James Van Praagh. So those are the 2 that I'm using for that. The main spread, as I said in the introduction, it's using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, and I have pulled clarifiers using the Gilded Tarot deck. Right, let me go ahead and show you your cards, and then we'll get into the meaning of the reading here. So we have, sitting at the center of your reading, we have the Queen of Wands, okay, and she's being crossed by the Magician, Major Arcana, the Magician. At the foundation of your reading, we have the Ace of Cups. In the recent past, we have Major Arcana number 11, Justice. Crowning your reading, we have the 8 of Swords. Coming up in the near future, we have another Major Arcana number 5, the Hierophant. You in the reading appear as the 4 of Swords. The surrounding energy in your environment, or how others are viewing you, you have the Nine of Swords. Quite a few swords cards here, right? We have swords and sort of heavily weighted towards major arcana and swords, but we'll get into that. Your hopes and fears, you have major arcana number 6, the Lovers. And the outbound energy for the month of April, as you head into May, we have the 6 of Wands. And the overall energy for the month of April is the card that was at the bottom of the deck, major arcana number 2, the High Priestess. Okay, so out of, the 10 cards plus the additional card from the bottom of the deck, so out of 11 cards, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are major arcana. So, quite a few major arcana cards. And then we have, again, 3 Swords cards, 1 Cups, and 2 Wands. Okay. The Oracle cards from the Ask Your Guides deck, we have Restriction, Joy Guides. Let me show you that. And I'll give you the meaning after we go through the reading. From the Power of Love deck, we have Acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. Okay, so let's start off here at the center of your reading. So you have the Queen of Wands crossed by the Magician. Okay, Queen of Wands, first of all, this is fire energy. Okay, and the Queen, when we have court cards appear in a reading, the court cards can be actual people who will, who might be playing a significant role during the month of April. If so, this would typically be an older fire sign individual, so Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, male or female. Here, obviously, it's the Queen, but in the general readings, we know that, it's not gender specific, so it could be male or female, but typically an older person, right? And the Queen of Wands is she's a very dynamic individual. She's somebody who really, she knows what she wants. She knows how to go about getting it. The Suit of Wands itself deals with kind of the day-to-day matters in life. We usually associate it with our work, right? The job that we do. It has to do with chores that we do around the house. It has to do with creative projects, creativity. It's our own determination, our own drive, our own ambition for going after and doing, or getting what it is that we want, or going after what it is that we want to do. And the Queen herself, she is very confident. She's a very capable individual. And whatever she sort of sets her mind to, she's definitely capable of accomplishing it, So she's very, she's strong. She's a strong individual. This could be, again, somebody you're dealing with, or this is just you taking on this energy. Sometimes this card appears when, you're dealing with lots of different things at the same time. You're very busy. This could be you being very busy during the month of April, because usually, she's the type of person who she's all over, she's in 20 places at one time. She's, she has a job. She's at her children's school. She's in, extra activities. She goes to the gym. She works, she's all over the place, but everything that she does very well, and she's very capable. And with that being crossed by the Magician, the Magician is a very powerful card. It's a card of manifestation. It's a card of, it's kind of unstoppable energy, it's about really being very, creative, having a lot of creative power, creative determination, partnering up with the universe as well, right? Because you see that the Magician, he holds, all of the tools. He has the 4 elements. He has all of the tools that he needs to achieve whatever it is that he, goes after or sets his sights on, or whatever his dream or desire is. And he knows how to partner up with, or how to harness the energy of the universe in order to achieve whatever that is. So, with him as a crossing card with the Queen of Energy, this is very powerful, very sort of unstoppable energy. This is, exciting energy. This is having great vision, a great sense of creative vision, creativity, and then harnessing all of that and kind of going after it. So it's about going after or grasping opportunities. And, things are very much sort of in our hands here, with lots of manifestation going on during the month. At the foundation, we have this Ace of Cups. So Cups energy, usually it deals with feelings, emotions, relationships. It's also the suit of intuition, right? We usually associate intuition with the suit of Cups. And aces are brand new beginnings, but they're divine, the sort of divine offerings. In this deck, it doesn't show it that way. In the traditional tarot deck, we see, the hand extending out of the cloud. It's this sort of divine offering being offered out of the cloud by the universe. So it's a blessed energy. It's something that's, it's something very powerful, and it's something that's, divinely guided or given, as whatever this new thing is that can either bring you emotional joy, emotional happiness. Could be, if this is talking about a relationship, this could be a brand new offering of love, new relationship coming in. If this is, you in a relationship, it could be, a renewal of feelings, or, renewal of things within the relationship, mending a relationship. It could be growing the relationship, so taking it from, one level to the next. Or it could be something brand new, a new partnership. This could have to do with, could be you also, tuning into your intuition about whatever this is that you're manifesting and going after this month. And definitely with the High Priestess here sitting over as the, the overall energy for the month, this could definitely be, you needing to, or you using and really focusing on your intuition at this time to manifest and bring about what you're going after, what you set your sights on. Now, in the past position, and this is recent past, could go back to, even a few weeks, last month, but it's the Justice card. And the Justice card, it can have to do with actually, dealing with the court. So, as the name sort of suggests, it's, legal matters, legal proceedings. So for some of you in the past position, you could have been dealing with the court. You could have been dealing with a lawyer, a judge, some type of legal proceedings. But the proceedings, they were favorable. They went in your favor. This could have been you needing to make a decision, some type of balanced decision where you were called to, weigh all the sides of whatever the situation was, really consider taking everything into account before making that decision. It's also a card that speaks of like acting on something, making a decision, and then also, taking responsibility for our actions, right? So it's also a very karmic card, obviously. So it could have to do with karmic justice that could have been in the past position, something to do, with karmic justice coming in, maybe somebody who treated you unfairly in the past. Things kind of, the scales tipped and, went against them and went in your favor now. So that could also be a possibility. But, with this sitting in the past, where it's brought you to here, or what you have crowning your reading, is this Eight of Swords, which is, I don't like this 8 and the 9 because they're very, it's limiting, restricting kind of energy here with the Eight of Swords, because it's the suit of swords itself has to do with our minds. It's our intellect, it's cerebral energy, it's our thoughts. And you see here that the woman, she looks very helpless, She's being held captive. There are all the birds flying around her. They have her sort of tied up here. She can't see. It looks as though she's unable to move, to make any type of move or decision or act on something. But this is all just really, it is in her mind, because these are just birds. She could easily wiggle free. She could, she could move. You see that the swords are not really close enough together to keep her pinned behind them, right? So she could easily, move and maneuver through the swords to get out of that situation. But it's when you feel, right? It's that or you think that things are sort of against you, or you feel as though you are incapable of getting out of that situation. So, mental energy going on here. And again, feeling, helpless, feeling vulnerable, feeling restricted. And I did pull, feeling unable to see matters for what they really are, and being able to move out of this situation. And so I did pull cards to clarify. And what came out was the Four of Wands, followed by, sorry, slipping around here, followed by the Six of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. So, what the cards are telling me here is that, there could have been, and especially with this Justice card sitting in the past position, for some of you, there could have been some type of legal proceedings. Possibly this, it could have had to, it could have been regarding a divorce. We do see here, the family with the child here. So there could have been something to do with going to court for that. But there was some type of moving away. The Six of Swords is a transition card. We usually think of it as moving out of choppy waters, difficult, rough waters, into calmer waters. It's interesting. You see that there's a big full moon there, right? So happening at night, but could have something to do with recent full moons. We just had one full moon at the end of March. There was a second, right, or the first full moon of the month at the beginning of March. So there could have been something with the Justice card sitting in the past. Maybe this was around the time of the full moon. But then there's news that's coming in, and it's another, the Eight of Wands is about fast communication, that fast back and forth, texting or messaging, emailing. So even though that there is this Eight of Swords here, what the cards are telling me is that there is some type of, it could have to do with something to do with a family situation, possibly to do with children, possibly to do with, a divorce or separation. But then, there was a moving on from that. There was either this was you moving on, moving away, leaving that situation in the past. And then there's something to do with news coming in quite quickly here, which, it shows that there will be a getting out of this Eight of Swords, with this news. Possibly the news coming in will help you move out of this Eight of Swords and not feel so trapped, especially with the Six of Swords as well, moving away from difficult waters into calmer waters. So moving away from this, this restrictive energy. And then we have the Hierophant, okay? And the Hierophant is, usually we think of the Hierophant as being, everything to do with tradition. He can have to do with sort of structured religion. There's large institutions that have, a very traditional, lots of, sort of standards and possibly ceremonies and rituals and, really uphold beliefs. So sometimes it's to do with the government or, large institutions such as universities, things along those lines. But it's to do with lore, and order and a specific way of doing something. It's very much doing things by the book, following the rules. Obviously, he is a religious figure here, so this could be, coming up in the future. This could be, for some of you, seeking out the help of the spiritual counselor. This could be seeking out the assistance of, a regular counselor, not just a spiritual one. This could be you seeking, higher wisdom, higher knowledge, higher truth. And he sits, they're sort of across from each other here, the Justice card and the Hierophant. So again, I'm being led back to the, there could have been something to do with the court system, possibly, a divorce going on there, maybe. But with the Hierophant sitting in the future, there could be a need for you to do things, play things by the book, do things by the book. Especially if you're dealing with a lawyer, if you're dealing with a divorce, make sure that you do things by the book. Keep everything written down. If you're looking, to have sole custody of your child, or if there's some type of custody battle, make sure that all of your paperwork is in order. Keep all your documents in order. Write down everything. Keep a notebook or a ledger, and if there's, just so that if you have to go to court, if there's something to do with going back to court, if you have to prove something, so that you have everything already written out. That's one message definitely coming through here. Now I pulled out Clarifiers on the Hierophant, and we have the Five of Wands, followed by the Nine of Pentacles, and the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is actually repeated here because we also have the Six of Wands as the outbound energy for the month. So, with these three cards coming out on the Hierophant, the Five of Wands usually speaks of some type of disagreement, but it's usually more about intimidation. It's usually more about, going up against other people, trying to gain sort of the alpha position, trying to, come out ahead, but not really trying to do harm to the others, more sort of intimidation. Sometimes this card might come out, if you are applying for a job, there might be competitors, other people competing against you. If we tie this in with what I was saying about the Justice card and going back there, even though I pulled this on the Hierophant, but there could be something going on where there was some type of conflict, or trying to sort of intimidate the other person, make the other person back down, using possibly even using the legal system, to try to intimidate that person. But whatever's going on, we do have kind of a similar message here, right? That here we have the moving away with the Six of Wands, and then this news coming in. Here we have, the Nine of Pentacles, which is a great card. It's a card of sort of financial independence, being self-reliant. So if there was some type of conflict, this comes in and just shows that, you're feeling very, very much in control now, very secure, financially stable. You kind of have the life that you have always wanted, and there's definitely, there's victory at hand here. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. So if there was something that you have been dealing with that might have been causing you, mental anguish, feeling trapped, not sure how to get out of that situation, how to move forward, possibly to do with this, separation or divorce or custody issue, it shows, and again with the Six of Wands in the outbound position, there is a victory at hand here. Now with you as the Four of Swords, this usually is it's a card of taking time out. It's a card of recuperation, of healing, of needing to, after some type of battle, kind of retreat, take time out for yourself, reevaluate next steps, but more than anything, take time out for your health, for your mental well-being, retreat from the world, and really rest and recuperate, mind, body, and soul here. How others are viewing you, interestingly enough, is they're viewing you as very, very stressed. I mean, the Nine of Swords card usually we think of it as the nightmare card, right? The Nine of Swords is the card that that shows, you're being kept up at night with all of the worries. You can't sleep at night. There's sort of the, that repetitive thinking, the thoughts going round and around and around in your mind at nighttime. So if you've been worried about, going back over here, if you've been worried about something, dealing with this other person or some type of legal proceedings. This is you just, being kept up at night, and very, very caught up in these thoughts. I did pull clarifiers on the Nine of Swords, and we have the Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana number 10, followed by, again, in the middle position, much like we had up here. So we have the two transition cards appearing in the present position, which is the Eight of Cups, and then the Lover's card. And we have the Lover's card sitting right here in the Hopes and Fears position. So another repeater. So the Wheel of Fortune speaks of a big change, right? There's a change. So going back to the Justice, if there was something that, you were treated unfairly, or things you thought that maybe something didn't go your way, or it wasn't fair the way that something came out, the Wheel of Fortune is all about, sort of things changing and going in your favor now. And then there's another walking away. The Eight of Cups it's a transition card, but it really has to do with, you see how he has his back turned? It's like, all of the cups are overturned here. There are some still standing, but it's the idea of, all of this, the cups have spilled out. Whatever is remaining there, it's no longer of interest to this person, right? He's moving on. Those cups do not interest him. He wants to, move ahead. He wants to go after something that's going to bring him more emotional fulfillment and joy. And then there's the Lover's card. Now this card, and I'll talk about it here because then we have it in the Hopes and Fears position. The Lover's card can be, it's a major arcana. It obviously can be the soulmate card. It's oftentimes referred to as the soulmate card. So for some of you, that could be, something coming in that you are meeting a person who is, it's a new, and we have this Ace of Cups at the foundation. So there could be a new person coming in. This person could be, a sort of soulmate, twin flame type of connection. And that's what, you have in your hopes and fears. That's what you're hoping for to come in. The Lover's card can also mean a choice, that there's a choice, sort of a head or a heart decision at play as well. So there could be something that you're being asked to make a decision about, and it's a very significant decision. And needing to go with, more of your heart than your head here, right, with the Lover's card. This could be just a very sort of that soulmate connection, which doesn't always have to be romantic in nature. There could be just two people coming together. This could be friendship. This could be in the form of a strong sort of partnership. Obviously, it can have to do, like I said, with a soulmate, with that type of romantic connection, and something that's very serious and could possibly even lead towards marriage at some point. So but that's what you have in the as the clarifiers on the Nine of Swords. So it seems as though there's a walking away. Things are changing, but changing for the best, for the for good, going in your favor, and then possibly this new relationship coming in, or either that or a very significant decision at play here. But whatever is going on, you leave the month feeling just victorious. The Six of Wands is a card of victory. It's a card that speaks of of things going again in your favor, of recognition. If this is in the it can be, if this is in the workplace, it's you receiving recognition for a job well done. It's you getting a promotion. It's you, people recognizing you. It's you standing out from the rest. Say you've applied for the job. This is your resume kind of making it to the top of the pile, and you getting called in for, standing out from the rest and getting called in for an interview. This could be just, in general, it's a card of victory. So whatever you have been dealing with, whether it's, to do with the court system, new relationships starting up here with the two, the Lover's card, the Ace of Cups, it's going in your favor. And we do have the Justice card with the Wheel of Fortune, with the Six of Wands. So things starting to go in your favor here. But one thing that does definitely stand out as we have the High Priestess as the overall energy for the month. So this card really speaks of needing to use your intuition to guide you with whatever whatever's going on. If there's moving away, if there are decisions to be made, you need to listen, trust in that gut feeling, trust in your intuition. Intuition can, pay attention to those repetitive things like repeating numbers, signs, synchronicities. It can come in the form of a dream even. Pay attention to the messages that you receive in through your dreams, because the High Priestess, she sits at the, sort of at the what am I trying to say? Mine went blank. I'm trying to say border. It's not the border. She sits between the material realm and the spiritual realm. So she provides great insight. She brings in the knowledge and these hidden, the hidden knowledge, the hidden or the hidden truths, right? And she guides us, so she encourages us to use our intuition. She guides us as we, use our intuition to deal with whatever, situation we have going on in our lives. Now, the two oracle cards, I'll read you that's interesting, because we're talking up here about restrictive thinking, and the card that we have here is restriction. So let me read you. I like to read the full meaning for the oracle card. So this is card number 28. Let me find it here. Here we go. So it says restriction, joy guides, and the key words associated with the card, we have assumptions, rigidity, limitations, prejudice. It says your joy guides are tapping at your mind's door, hoping to open it and free you from the corner any narrow or presumptuous, free you from the corner any narrow or presumptuous thinking on your part may be unwittingly backing you into. If you fall into the trap of running on too many assumptions or operating on unexamined preconceived notions, you quickly eliminate all your options, leading you to a damned if I do, damned if I don't cycle of frustration. Your joy guides playfully remind you to step back and notice where your stuck perceptions might be attracting such frustration. They remind you that you're not stuck, but your thinking may be. Stop your mental movie and take a commercial break. That's so funny. We have the repetitive thinking, and then I said, taking the time out with the Four of Swords. It's time for a fresh look and a new viewpoint on all things. The best way to achieve this is to treat yourself to a heavy dose of humor and let it break through to your unbearable dilemma. Your joy guide's counsel is, as always, the situation may be critical, but not serious. Join them in reviewing the situation and laugh your way forward. So, this really goes along with the getting rid of the negative thinking, stepping back, get rid of all the repetitive thoughts, because they're definitely, limiting, restrictive thoughts right there. So that definitely ties in with the reading. We have acceptance. Let me find this card. And it says, throughout your sojourn on earth, you will be presented with many obstacles and lessons that will test you. One of the most beautiful parts of life is its unpredictability. Nothing is permanent. Everything is constantly moving and evolving, especially you. In your life, you can progress faster spiritually by being open to the ebb and flow of events and the twists and turns that your soul companions, the fellow humans on your journey, provide. Now is the time to become aware of this gift and acknowledge that these moments are not stumbling blocks but merely opportunities to grow. Although circumstances may seem difficult and worrisome, if you look at the bigger picture and live for the present moment, you can easily follow the natural course of life. But don't let the mindset of acceptance distract you from your ability to change the situations that hinder your soul's growth. You are always in charge. Interesting. And you're definitely in charge. With the Queen of Wands crossed by the Magician at the center of your reading, you are very much in charge, and you are very much, you're very powerful. this month, and you have everything. You have all of the tools that you need to achieve whatever this is that you're going after. And only this will play out differently for everybody watching the video. So only you know what that is, for you. But I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I appreciate you being here with me. I look forward to reading for you again next month. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of April. Bye for now.